I've traditionally done. I've done it. This is my third year in a row now. So it's a great location. It's one flight. It's a challenging course. People think Florida's flat, but no way is it flat. There's about 1,200 feet of elevation on the bike, about 500 on the run. And a lot of that elevation on the bike is actually in the last 20 miles. So it's a good challenging course with wind and hills. The swim is in a lake. It's pretty cool. It's in an M-dot swim, as they call it. It's in the shape of the Ironman logo. So you go up, across, down, across, up, across, and down. You can see on your Strava, it makes like a nice M logo, which is pretty cool. But it's an easy race. There's no kind of easy race to get into. There's no real long lines for registration. Just super chilled. It's at a park. It's a great family atmosphere. There's a lot of spectators that are nearby and all along the course. So it's just an awesome race, and it was nice to kind of retest myself again after Mercury Man. I learned some good things there, and then to kind of change my training and see if I could execute different. The strength in this race was definitely the run. Been doing a lot of work on my run, a lot of zone 2, zone 3 running, just to build the engine, and that's really where it came out. Generally, I'm not particularly quick on the run. I run about a 2:32, between 2:32 and 2:35 half marathon, in a half Ironman, and this time I was 2:12. So besting it by at least 20 minutes, 23 minutes from my last from Mercury Man, definitely made the difference in the PR. I think the biggest difference in this race compared to others was just the evenness of the effort. Usually on the swim I try to go out hard, but my heart rate starts racing, and then I'm tired within the first half mile, where this time I went out a lot more steady, kept a steady effort all the way through for all the sports. So I came out of the swim at about 38 minutes, which is an okay time, but I came out at probably 75% of the effort I would have normally. Again, got on the bike, decided to take a little off the bike. Usually I'll go and smash the bike, but this time I decided to ride a little bit less, about 80% of my FTP. I was expecting to go just under 230 something, maybe high 230s, but it was quite windy, so 80% of my FTP watts is about 215 watts, and that gave me 242. So a little bit slower than expected, but that's the conditions kind of dictated that. I rode a combination of heart rate and 80% FTP, whichever one was higher. I try not to go into zone 4. So if it hit zone 4, even if I wasn't making my watts, I still slowed down and kind of kept the effort nice and even all the way through. And that really benefited me coming off the bike to kind of set myself up for a decent run. So that was probably the biggest difference. From a mental toughness aspect, I guess it ties back to again the change I made, which got me the PB, which was just a more even effort across the 3 sports. I know it's a bit of a cliche, but I perform much more like a triathlete, whereas in the past I've basically been a cyclist that put up with the swim and the run so I could smash a good bike time. Over the last few months I've worked on a lot more kind of even efforts, again, zone 2, zone 3, just steady, being able to keep a pace and keep my heart rate a lot lower. My heart rate spiked really high in Mercury Man. I struggled to get it down, but a lot of my training was more higher power, and was kind of building my FTP at that point. Now I transitioned more to kind of steady engine building stuff, and now that I'm at that level, I can concentrate on making each sport kind of more. The mental toughness comes in that in training, you want to go out and you want to hit it hard sometimes, or you want to go do group sessions, but they just don't benefit you. You have to have that mental toughness to be able to just say, you know what, it's not for me today. You have to be able to stick to a plan, stick to your own plan. Know when you can deviate, and know when, this session, it's got to be done. It may not be fun. Others are out having more fun sessions and kind of doing things, but it gets down to nitty gritty. And then in the race, executing those months of training again, the bike has always been my strong point and the place where I enjoy. So, seeing people pass me when I know I have gas in the tank, but I am saving it for later. So it's a mental toughness there to just kind of hold your ground and stay the course and believe in the result at the end, as opposed to, what's happening right there and then at that second. Yeah, the celebration of my PB was short-lived. I was pretty emotional after the race, just reveling in the fact that, all that training has paid off, and it basically brought me a 15-minute PB on my Florida course, and 21 minutes faster than Mercury Man 3 months ago. So it's quite a big jump from a training perspective. So knowing that what I'm doing is working was a good validation, and I took great pride in that. But that said, like all of us, I think you celebrate your PB by figuring out what you could have done to go quicker. I kind of call them my CPBs, which is my current personal best, because I don't feel my best is yet to come. I think I'm getting quicker. I'm learning more about myself and how I race and how I train and how I fuel. So good things to come as far as that. But did take the week off. Ate a few things. Chris and I after the race had a big barbecue dinner. A couple of beers. But it's Thursday now, and I'm itching to get back into it. So we don't rest on our laurels too long. It's train hard, race hard, relax, right back on it again. Yeah, this year's a packed year for me as far as Ironman goes. I ended up signing up for a couple of races. So we did, we've obviously knocked off Mercury Man, Florida 70.3 is in the bag. In July, in about 12 weeks time, we have Ironman 70.3 in Racine, Wisconsin. I'm planning on doing a full in September in Ohio. It's the challenge race, Challenge Cedar Point, and then kind of chatting with Chris and might pencil one in that wasn't originally on the schedule, which is a half-ironman in Miami the end of October. Cayman Triathlon just after that in November, and then probably a half marathon, the Cayman Marathon, a half marathon in December. So lots of training, lots of racing. Should be a good year.